everybody and welcome to this week's Tune In Tuesday. On the 8th of June, this Saturday just gone, it was World Oceans Day, one of the most important days of the year for all marine conservationists. This year's World Oceans Day saw thousands of events all over the globe to further preserve the marine environment. The ocean. Every single one of us heavily relies on the ocean and has a deep connection to it, whether we realise it or not. Whether this is for leisure, the food that we eat, or the very oxygen that you're all breathing right now, half of it is produced in the ocean. So it's literally a vital lifeline that we all desperately need. So because this day is so important, this week's Tune In Tuesday is going to follow my journey on my day of World Oceans Day. As you watch, maybe think about what you got up to on this year's World Oceans Day and please comment it below. Thank you. Okay, so it's the morning of World Oceans Day, and to start my day off, I've come to Bodmin Moor with my dog Bella, and over here we have Harmony from By the Compass and her dog Honey. To my left we have Rowtor, and behind me we have Brown Willy. Brown Willy's summit is the highest point above sea level in the whole of Cornwall, reaching an impressive 420 metres. I'm going to climb Brown Willy today whilst doing a litter pick to see how much litter is up there. Now you might be wondering, why on World Oceans Day am I going to the highest point above sea level in the whole of Cornwall? The reason that I'm doing this is to highlight the fact that it doesn't matter how far away from the ocean you are, everything that we do affects the ocean, and we are all interlinked in one massive ecosystem. So let's go and see what we can find up there. So what I've just pulled out of the ground here is this, and it's an old wrapper from jelly, blackcurrant jelly. And I have a theory where this has come from. So when I was in school and I did my Duke of Edinburgh, we were told to bring jelly with us that we could eat as we go because it gives you a sugar rush and gives you a burst of energy. So I reckon that this has come from a D of E student coming up here for their Duke of Edinburgh walk. Which is why it's so important that we are doing this education and awareness and going into schools to make people more aware of the dangers of plastic pollution and to prevent this from happening. North Cornwall is rich in mythical tales of dragons, King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, and we've all heard the story of the sword and the stone, but now we have plastic and the stone. So you can see this crisp packet has clear evidence of ingestion. There's bite marks all over it. So if I just put my hand in here, hopefully there's nothing living in here, and pull out a bit of dirt, you can see that where the crisp packet has started to be ingested and nibbled on by various creatures, in amongst the dirt are the microplastics, the shredded up bits of the crisp packet. and these will remain in the dirt and continue to get broken down and fragmented into much smaller and smaller pieces. And now that these smaller pieces of plastic are in the soil, then the decomposers and the detritivores come in and they start ingesting these, the earthworms and other tiny organisms that are so important to the whole ecosystem functioning. Once these have been ingested by the tiny organisms, it goes back up the food chain. So the birds start eating the worms, and then things start eating the birds, and so on, and eventually it ends up in us. When you're at the top of Brown Willy or Routor, you can see the sea on the north coast and the sea on the south coast. Unfortunately today it's not quite clear enough. We can see the north coast, so we have Padstow and Weybridge behind me, and over there is the south coast, but there seems to be a bit of a storm over there and we can't actually see anything. And we are officially at the highest point above sea level in the whole of Cornwall, I can think about what we found on the way up here. The good news being is that we didn't find that much rubbish. Bad news, we did still find some. Mostly used dog poo bags and also wet wipes, which I'm guessing is from humans going to the toilet up here too. Now that we're at the top, we're looking in amongst the rocks up here and we're finding all sorts of plastic. What looks a bit like stuff from picnics. So again, as I said at the beginning, this is just to highlight that wherever you are, even if it means being at the highest point away from sea level, please do not litter, because all environments are interlinked and whatever you do, wherever you are in the world, affects the ocean. So now we're going to climb all the way back down again, and then we're going to head to Constantine Bay for our afternoon beach clean on World Oceans Day.